Released in 1980, The Watcher in the Woods is a Disney attempt at a horror movie aimed at kids. It seems like such an oddball idea, but I think it really works tremendously well, and I think I would have really grew up with a kind of nostalgia and love for this movie had I watched it when it came out, or even so in the 80s, because it's such a strange oddity of a movie. We are introduced to a family who are going to rent this house from a Bette Davis character. She's a woman who's kind of locked away, lost her daughter 30 years prior. This family move in. We follow mainly Jan, who's Lynn-Holly Johnson, who was the kind of horny teen in For Your Eyes Only, I think it was. Was that the one? One of the James Bond ones anyway. And she starts to notice that there's some strange things going along. She starts to notice patterns and shapes, strange lights coming from the woods. Her little sister is acting very strange as well. And throughout the story that comes out here, you get the idea that 30 years ago, a girl vanished. Nobody found any body or any remnants of her. She just completely disappeared. We have these older people who seem to be traumatized by it. And we have these young girls discovering the story of what happened and possibly getting an explanation for it. But it's done in such a really strong horror-centric vibe. It feels like a ghost story, like a gothic horror story. It has moments of like slasher tropes where we have the kind of crazy groundskeeper who, rather than just talking and speaking to people, likes to hang about and act extremely spooky. It has red herrings as to what could happen. It lets the viewer in on small segments of the truth of what had happened, but lead us down the wrong path of answers. It's a supernatural movie as well, with lots of kind of spooky goings on. And for a kids movie, which I feel like this is, it also has moments of extreme horror and tension for that kind of age range. Going back to it now, there was still some genuinely kind of creepy moments that happened throughout the movie, some strong oddities, but then there are some script problems where they're literally spelling out what is either currently happening or has just happened, and it's not even subtle about it. It's about as subtle as a sledgehammer, and they are whacking you over the head with this exposition that is just unnecessary. Some of the performances aren't great. They're a little bit stilted, a little bit lacking of emotion. Some of the production values are just utterly wonderful. The main space, the kind of abandoned church that they're in, is wonderfully spooky and horrible. The idea of these lights and things appearing are just wonderfully great. The kind of ghostly apparitions are wonderful. The idea of possession and the ghostly spirits is a real addition to this movie. Bette Davis is okay. I've seen her a lot better. It's getting towards the end of her career, and she does well enough. But it's such a strange oddity more than anything to come from Disney, to be so enriched within various horror tropes, but to still have that Disney kid feel about it. Feels at odds with each other, but yet somehow it strangely works. I kind of liked The Watcher in the Woods. I feel like if I had discovered this in the 80s, I'd have loved it, but I've came to it 40 years too late. And anyway, I'd love to know if you've seen Watcher in the Woods. If you've seen it in the 80s, did it affect you? Did it scare you? Did it terrify you? Or did you just laugh at it? Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.